This last week has been absolutely crazy.
Follow me, let me waste your time.
Hello, my name is Sarah and I am a foster carer in the UK. And oh my goodness, we're going to talk about my last week. It's been a difficult one. Let me just say, if you haven't watched my last few videos, I will put them up in the cards so you can check those out, just so you kind of understand where I am in the process, what my fostering picture kind of looks like at the moment. But a very brief summary is, I had a newborn come to me in December, and I then accepted another placement. I'm a single foster carer. I accepted another placement last Monday. It's Monday as I'm recording this, so that a new child has been with me for a week, and I wanted to talk about the last week with a new placement because it has been, if I'd have made this video 24 hours ago, you'd have seen it completely different. I'd have been ranting and raving, but I've kind of taken a breath for a second and I've composed myself. But I do just want to talk about the last week because it's been just really hard, to be honest. And I've always talked about when a new child come or new children come, it's always difficult. But this has just been, I just felt really quite overwhelmed, I think, possibly. Not necessarily by the children. I mean, the ages of the children, they are quite like demanding, like they can't do anything for themselves, they need feeding and, you know, bottles and all of that, and you know, they don't sleep through the night. So to a degree, there's a little bit about the ages of the children, which is fine. I'm just sort of like coming to terms with everything that needs to be done in the day and night. For me, it's not the care of the children that's the difficult part. It's everything else, dealing with, I think probably most foster carers feel this way, to be honest, but just dealing with everything else that you've got to do. And, you know, obviously when the child does first come, some children do just waltz in. I have had children that just waltzed in, no problems, and they're absolutely fine. But most of them, you know, they're not quite themselves. Their world has just been flipped upside down. And so it's all a bit of a process for them getting to grips with me. And, you know, they're not particularly very happy when they first arrive, I don't think, as a general rule. And I'm really generalising there. But, you know, you can imagine they've just been taken off parents, thrust into the care of me, and it's hard for them. And so, you know, they're not all potentially smiley and happy and it's all wonderful. So that's difficult to kind of deal with. But it's not even that. It's so Monday morning, I woke up having a plan of what my week looks like. I've got this one baby in my care, and I know when contact is. I know that I've got to go and get them weighed. I just know all the different things that I'm doing that week. And then all of a sudden, and I did kind of know that potential, well, I didn't know that they were definitely coming to me, this other one, but I'd had a phone call on Friday that they were maybe coming. But it just kind of didn't really start off well, in that the last I heard was 2 o'clock on Monday afternoon that they didn't know whether they were coming or not yet. And then at like 5:45, they just appeared. There was no phone call to say that they were definitely coming. And I was like in the middle of my tea and everything, and I was like, and luckily, if you watch my video about setting up the bedrooms, I said that I wasn't going to do it until I definitely heard that they were coming. And then because I wanted to make that video, I thought, you know what, I'll just sort it out and I'll do the cot and I'll sort things out. So glad I did do that, because if I hadn't have set up the bedroom, Monday night would have just been just ridiculous. It would just have been absolutely crazy. So that kind of just annoyed me that they didn't phone me to let me know. But it wasn't a big deal. Like, none of these things individually I found like a big deal. It's not necessarily that people have done things wrong. It's just a build-up of things. So that sort of happened. I didn't know that they were coming. And then contact is always arranged, in my experience anyway, contact with parents is always arranged quite quickly. So you've got to deal with that, which is quite, I've talked before about meeting birth families and building relationships with them, but that's always just quite a stressful, sort of nervousy type situation on everyone's side, I think. So all of a sudden you get that thrown onto you, that you get a phone call maybe on Tuesday morning to say, right, we've organised contact for such and such a time today, and you just have to do it. I mean, obviously if you can't do it, you can't do it, but maybe like they would come and collect the child or something. I don't know what would, if you like really couldn't do it, I don't know what they do, to be quite honest. But they just tell you, come to the contact centre at this time, which was like a bit of a pain, well not a bit of a pain, a complete pain of a time for me in terms of other things that I was doing with the other child that I had. Well, I could get there, it was just a pain of like being a bit of a taxi service backwards and forwards. And then, so you do that, you meet the parents, and then I think Wednesday was my day and I thought, this is just gonna be like a bit of a chill day, it's quite nice. And then they have to come and do, social services have to come and do a visit, social worker has to come within, I think it's within 5 days of placement, the child social worker. So, oh no, they said about like they need medical, so children when they come into care need to have a child looked after medical. And it was like, oh, it's gonna happen on Wednesday morning. So I was hanging around for that, waiting around for, am I gonna have to go, am I not? Eventually I got a phone call saying no, I didn't have to go. They were organising it for a different time, it was fine, okay. So I thought, oh, I'll just relax. All I had to do was go and get baby weighed. That was the day that I thought, oh, maybe I can just sneak in a little hour nap in the afternoon when everyone's asleep. And then that didn't happen because I got a phone call for social worker to say, I need to come and visit you, can I come out in 20 minutes? Oh my goodness, I mean, yeah you can, but I really just wanted to like sleep for just a little while. And so they came out, did their visit, you know, no problems. And on Thursday it's like, oh, they need to go and get weighed. I had just been on Wednesday to take the baby to be weighed. If you'd have told me, I could have taken them. Well, I did take them with me, I could have got them weighed at the same time. But they didn't tell me, and so I had to go and get them weighed on Thursday, which was like, go now, go this afternoon and get them weighed. Which they gave me the wrong, not their fault, they were told the wrong place. I went to one place, it wasn't there. And like, imagine, like, it's, when you've got 2 children, small children, babies, to be getting in and out of cars and things, it's just like, it's a big deal when it's not in the right place. So that was like a last minute thing. And then there's a placement planner meeting where my social worker, child social worker, possibly parents, if they want to come, get together within the first 5 days. That has to happen. So it had to happen by Friday. So I think whatever day it was, I can't remember, but it was like, this meeting is happening in an hour, we're coming to your house, which the fact that they come to my house, that was fantastic. So I didn't have to go anywhere, but it was just that I had to have that meeting. And then obviously there was contacts put in place with parents, so it was like you're adding in all these different things that you've got to do. And on top of that, you're dealing with, you know, these children and just like influx of stuff. So like parents bring maybe some clothes that you need to wash and sort, and you have to go out and buy them clothes if needs be. You need to go and buy equipment or milk or just food, or you know, whatever you need to do, and sort of like just carry on running life whilst all of this is going on, all these very different meetings and things. And it has just felt so overwhelming. Over the weekend there was a few tears, I've got to be honest, just because Lara, my sister, said that she'd look after the little one for a while, and it just, I was like, oh thank you so much. I just wanted just to go and just like sit in my room or whatever and just relax and chill out and not have to deal with, and it isn't necessarily the children. Like I said, I find that the easy part. It was like, so here's my cup of like fullness, and every time someone phoned me and said you need to go here in half an hour, or we need this from you, or we've got this meeting planned, or you need to go to this contact in half an hour, you need this. Every time someone phoned me for something and demanded something, it was like they were just taking another sip of my cup. And it just, by the weekend, by like Saturday night, it just felt like my cup was completely empty, and I just wanted to scream and like, just leave me. And just, oh, I was just, yeah, just overwhelmed. And then when Lara said she'd just look after them for a little bit, I was like, yes, wonderful, just go and relax for a few hours. And that was so good. And I think definitely as a foster carer, if you are thinking about becoming a foster carer, don't be afraid. I always say this, don't be afraid to use your support network, because we can't do everything ourselves. Absolutely we can't, and sometimes we just need a break. We really do. It's been a week, it really has. I think once you have that first week and all of the uncertainties, I don't really do well with uncertainties, I don't think. once you've got all of that out of the way, so like this week, I mean, there is still a few little creases to iron out, but this week, you know, if they're attending a nursery or anything, you've got it like organised that, right, Monday this is happening, Tuesday this, and I know what's happening each day this week, more or less. I'm sure there'll be some surprises thrown in, but I've kind of got my head around all of that, and that's fine, and it'll be good. I think that they will be making unannounced calls, social services, from, I think, from my side and children's side, which is fine, that's no problem. To be honest, I'm not really in a lot because of all the different things that we've got going on, so they can make the announced and I probably won't be here. I've just felt just crap, to be honest, and just not how crap it. I was like just angry. I was so mad at people over the weekend, and yeah, I don't know, I just really was just peed off with everyone, and I didn't feel like anyone was doing anything nice for me. Everyone was just like demanding stuff off me, and I think that just got to me by the weekend. But that is the reality of it, and these meetings and things do need to happen. Like, they're requesting, social services are requesting certain information off me. They need certain information, like to build a case to go to court with them. So if they're saying, oh, can you do X, can you do X, they're doing it for a reason. They're not doing it to piss me off. That, you know, there is a reason behind their requests. It just got so much, and yeah, it wasn't an easy week. It really wasn't an easy week, but onwards and upwards. I am positive, more positive this week. It's lovely, actually. Stephen is off school this week. There's no school, it's half term, so we don't kind of have to get up quite so early and get out of the house. That's lovely. That's lovely for the first week. If you are foster care, I'd love to know what you think of like the first week when you have a child, of what your experiences are, because this one has just been so difficult. Although I don't know whether you just can't remember the other ones, because they're always hard. Like I said, I'll always say the first week at least is really hard, but this one just has felt especially difficult. Thank you very much for listening to my little rant about my week. I've got about half an hour to myself, I think, whilst both children are asleep, so I'm just sort of film this quick, try and edit it and everything, and then maybe do a bit of tidying up of all these toys and things that are behind me. Actually, I think I'll probably just leave them for when they wake up. I'll go and start some washing out or something. Thank you so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you soon. Bye. Literally just finished filming. About to turn my camera off, and one of the children have woken up. Oh, there's no time to myself.